Bitcoin is getting a bit of a Trump pump right now as we speak. There's questions about what's going on. Trump speaking at Davos. AI and crypto will be top of the world here in the USA. What do we need to do about it? As I'm changing the thumbnail as we speak. Hold on one second. But what does this mean? Is this going to be a little bit of a trap caution? Are we going to, I still feel like there's still a little bit of a dip in order, probably over the weekend, and we get a pump at the beginning, the middle end of next week with Bitcoin and altcoins. If there's positive news with the 3:30 p.m. meeting with Nayib Bukele, Trump, Bitcoin, strategic reserve, executive orders, everything's on the table for pump or dump in the near term. But we got to pay attention to this because we are primed for some explosive action in one direction or the other. I do think it will resolve to the upside. But as we go, everybody, hit that one if you're ready to dive into this. We got to ride this pump. We got to make sure if it does dump, we take the buying opportunity. So with that being said, let's go ahead and make sure that everything that we're doing is setting us up for absolute, rocket ship to the upside, and we are stacked when that comes. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this party started.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. SEC and its policies rely on whatever Gary thinks. Bitcoin's a flight to quality. I heard that from Larry Fink. Every hour losing purchasing power on foolish out there. It's not our fault. Blame the cult. It's the political cowards. When it comes to gas, our purchasing power just got cut in half. I sit back and laugh, open my bag, fill it with stacks and sats. Bitcoin, pumping, altcoins, pumping. I've been preparing for this. Can't tell me nothing.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality. We are hearing from clients around the world.
Bitcoin, pumping, altcoins, pumping. I've been preparing for this.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as
Bitcoin, pumping, altcoin.
Are you stacked in? Bitcoin,
Can't nobody tell me
altcoins, still
nothing.
setting up. I know it's
depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a
Can't
flight
nobody
to
tell me
We are
nothing.
the right people.
Bitcoin,
We are here to
pump.
profit
We are hearing
on where this
clients
market is
around
going. And
the
if there is a
world.
dip before liftoff, we will take advantage of it. So with that being said, if you're ready to dive into this, we have Larry Fink talking about tokenizing bonds and stocks. What does that mean? Where are we going here? I made a major move in my portfolio yesterday. I let all of you know that are in the Discord. I let you know. So all of you that are the BitLab Academy members there, we're going to be talking about that. So everybody, if we can dive into this, I want to see all the BitLab emojis as I can see in the live chat. I want to see people that are watching on Twitter. Also, expand that screen and make sure you get involved in the live chat. I can see all of the comments, all the live chat, both on YouTube and on X. Let's dive into this. I want to see everybody getting involved in the live chat. Let's do this because we are a community. Let's go. Seeing a bit of life in the market today with some hopium and then a little bit of dumpage and then some pop again. The market is so primed right now. We can see that with the price action and everything that's going on in the market. We're going to talk about this run up we had here and then the sell off. Oh my God, didn't meet people's expectations. And then we got this run up here. We're going to be talking about this and so much more. We have a bunch of TA we got to go over today, but we got some of the most, it's just nonstop bullishness with where this market is going for the fundamental layers that are suggesting higher. But does that mean things are so primed with bullishness that we do have this opportunity still to get that dip before liftoff? Or is this potentially also just basically chopping in the zone? And what does that mean for altcoins? How are you doing, everybody, as you roll in here? My name's Kelly Kellum. Welcome to the BitLab family. We're going to be giving you that alpha to make sure that you can stay on the right side of the trade. And if it does go the way you don't want it to the downside, maybe you need to adjust your time horizon, because if this bullishness is here in the market as we're expecting with all these capital channels, with the ETFs, with now all these huge number of new ETF applications that have been put in since Gary Gensler and the old administration is out, now we're seeing a clear pathway for bullishness in this market. When is the strategic Bitcoin reserve happening? Is it going to happen? Executive order. All this is setting up for so much bullishness that I think the hopium in this market is actually setting up for a flush out that people that are not paying attention here on BitLab Academy or on Discover Crypto or on Blockchain Basement, throw a 1 in chat if you watch all 3 of the channels here at Hit Network. But the opportunities are rising. If the market does dip, remember that this is ultimately if we're really bullish on this market, that's ultimately what we want to see. Now, if that dip doesn't happen, great. All of you, me, everybody here, we've been stacking. So sometimes it just pays to be patient. So let's dive into this. I want to break some records. I want to see, we've got about 55% of you that watch on a daily basis are not even subscribed to the channel. What are you doing? Make sure when you get in here, look below the video if you're on YouTube. Make sure subscribed right there. Make sure it says subscribed. If you want to join the BitLab membership here on YouTube, once you subscribe, it'll say join right here. There's also a link here in the comments where it says join to become a member of BitLab YouTube. Join there. It's $1.25 a week. Great way to help support the channel and all the team that we have behind what we do here. Of course, turn on your notifications because a lot of times we have members only stuff about once a week, sometimes twice. I put some of the members only stuff posted to the public, but only for about 5 minutes. And you will see it if you have your notifications are on. Of course, if you're on YouTube, on Twitter, make sure right here, hit that like button, retweet. We do giveaways throughout the week. And today we will do another one. I don't have the goal button, do I? The goal, here we go. Let me set a goal. If we get 10 super chats or 10 members, we will do a giveaway today. So all you need to do to enter that giveaway is hit this retweet, hit this like button. We will draw from that if we get 10, a combination of super chats and memberships joined, and we will give back to the community. Big love to everybody, but we're seeing bullishness. Everybody's worried. Why isn't it running away? The market is up tremendously since September. It's up, such an incredible amount. Let this stair step build. We got the rise. Let the sideways action happen. Take advantage of that, and then you get that next ride. We got 5 gifted BitLab memberships right out the gate from Falco. Big love to you, my friend. But what we're seeing, look, $3.6 trillion. We're good. We're still over $2 trillion on Bitcoin. Still about just under $400 billion on Ethereum. I still think Ethereum is going to have its move. XRP setting up strongly. We got some news on that. Also, Solana got some news on that. We got to talk about bullishness today. BNB sitting right at 100 billion. The market's looking great. It's looking fantastic. So why did we get that move to the upside and then the downside? And then we got the pump again. Well, we had Cynthia Loomis come out and say 10 a.m. We're getting Bitcoin news. It's big. Well, it turns out it is big, but it's a little bit over a time horizon of what the impact is. What Cynthia Loomis talked about was essentially everybody was hoping, everybody's so primed that the only good news about crypto right now is an executive order on strategic Bitcoin reserve. That's coming. In fact, I hope we don't get an executive order on a strategic Bitcoin reserve. I hope maybe even if it's 2 or 3 weeks, I hope we get the bill actually voted on. And we're going to talk about why I think that is something that is coming in the very near future. Of course, it'd be fine if we got a strategic Bitcoin reserve as an executive order, but we shouldn't bet our entire life on it. And every moment there's an announcement. So what it turned out to be was a Senate to vote on Senator Loomis to be the chair of the Digital Asset Committee. And of course, what happened, we got that honored to chair the Senate Banking Subcommittee on Digital Assets. This means we have the right person in that committee that is the chair of it that is going to help usher in better ideas, better bills, better legislation about where we're going and what we're doing and what regulation and all these different things that are going to be shaping the future, because blockchain, Bitcoin, crypto is the future. So it's good that we have a digital assets committee chaired by the person that has been championing, in fact, wrote the legislation around the strategic Bitcoin reserve. So while it's not immediate, it is very positively impactful, over the next, basically this term. But then we also have, that's not all, there's more. We also have President Trump to hold a call today with El Salvador's Bitcoin president, Nayib Bukele, a pro-Bitcoin president, I should say. And this is impactful because, you know, they are essentially on the Bitcoin standard down in El Salvador, and they have completely reshaped since Nayib Bukele has come in power, everything going on there. Their crime dropped by like 75%. Their economy's on track. They're stacking Bitcoin like nobody's business. For a while, they had a law that everybody had to accept Bitcoin, except they sort of adjusted that when they took some $1.3 billion from the IMF. Everybody thought that, you know, Nayib Bukele was sort of faltering there. And then what they do the next day or 2 days later, they stack 10 times the amount of Bitcoin. So that $1.3 billion actually freed up other parts of their budget, and they used that towards buying more Bitcoin. Now, the caveat there was they don't require businesses to accept Bitcoin now. It's an option, but I mean, I think that's a pretty good trade-off, being that they just went 10x harder on their Bitcoin purchases. But this isn't it. You know, if this is happening at 3:30 today, what else is coming alongside that? Well, we also see this from our boy Quentin Francois, a friend of the channel, friend of mine. We've had him on here before. He said, this is not a drill. Trump is signing an executive order at 2:30. Now, again, this might not have anything to do with the strategic Bitcoin reserve. This may be something as simple as reversing or canceling the SAB 121 bill that's out there that limits banks' ability to hold digital assets without them being listed as a liability. Well, what does that mean? Well, all these banks are publicly traded companies, and if you hold a liability on your balance sheet, you don't get that asset value or the performance of it listed for what's happening with your company. So it can be negatively impactful to your shareholders, thus making it very difficult and almost prohibitive to hold crypto in a meaningful way. So if that's the case, that's super bullish. That opens up the door for banks to getting involved. Now, we could argue, is that something super good? Well, I don't know. I don't know if I want banks to really participate in this. In the near term, as a speculator and an investor, that would be incredible because that would drive adoption. But maybe that Bitcoin is being custodied by banks isn't where I want it custodied. But either way, this would be good, looking at the cycle where we're at now. If it's an executive order about maybe not selling any Bitcoin, remember the strategic reserve, it's not just we're going to be buying 200,000 Bitcoin over the next 5 years. Okay, that's 1 million Bitcoin. This might start with an executive order that says any Bitcoin that we custody, we're not going to sell. And then the legislation of the strategic Bitcoin reserve gets passed, in the coming days, weeks, or months. We'll have to see how this goes. And I have a feeling like that would be more likely. Executive order, we're not going to sell any Bitcoin or digital assets we currently hold. Maybe that's the case. And then when we move on a little bit deeper, we do see Trump executive orders on crypto. Meanwhile, everybody's waiting on executive orders on crypto. Meanwhile, his company is buying more every single day. $351 million now that they have in these assets. This is incredible. 551 Bitcoin, 56,000 ETH, 46 million USDC. That is a setup for a deployment into crypto, probably scaling in over the coming days and weeks. 10,000 staked ETH, 10,000 staked ETH. They're using DeFi. $10 million in USDT, 30 million Tron. 19,000 Aave, 256,000 Link. What they're doing is incredible. So let's go back to the strategic Bitcoin reserve. If there's an executive order signed today and there's not a reserve, but he announces that we're not selling anything we have, what could be coming up in the very near future? Well, let's talk about this because this is what he said yesterday. Oh, why is this not? Come on. It's not sharing the audio. There's no audio there. Doesn't matter. I can hear it, but I can see it's not going through to you guys. So what he's saying there is essentially there is a bill coming up very shortly with a bunch of Democratic votes. It's going to be a beautiful bill. I think you guys know what it is. It's coming in a matter in a week or so, a matter of weeks. So the only thing I know that's very bipartisan out there, that there's already a bill out, written, and discussed across the Congress and Senate is the strategic Bitcoin reserve. So maybe again, today is we're not selling anything. Maybe in the coming weeks, it is a legislative move voted on, which would be more impactful than just an executive order that we're establishing the strategic Bitcoin reserve. So note the difference there. It may happen. It may not just happen the exact day you want it to. So let's be patient, because the forward-looking speculation on this market is only getting stronger by the minute. Who cares if we get an executive order on a strategic Bitcoin reserve today? Even the announcement of us not selling, that is teeing up that next step of, he wants to bring together unity. If he allows the bill that's already on the floor to get voted on, that is more impactful and shows bipartisanship rather than him just going out and doing it. Charles with the $5 super chat. Big love to you. I appreciate it. Talking about TIMA. He's every day talking about TIMA. You know what? Maybe I'll look at that today. I don't even know what it is. Yeah, it says holders are going to get airdrops and, every month for 10 months. KuCoin gate listings coming soon. Everybody thinks their coin is getting a listing coming up soon. So not hating on you for that, but we all, when you're holding a coin, it's not listed. There's rumors it's getting listed soon. So be a little cautious there. But just realize the landscape only just cataclysmically shifted Monday. It's Thursday. We got Ross Ulbricht freed. He's already doing things. He just stated a matter of minutes ago when speaking at Davos remotely from here in the States, but he was speaking on a big ass screen at Davos, and he said he wants, we'll pull that up in a second. But right here, this was at Davos. This is what I want to share. I don't know why this is not sharing the dang. Come on, man, share with me. It's not playing the darn audio. He essentially says, we will make United States a manufacturing superpower. Great. That's good for the economy. And the world capital of artificial intelligence and crypto. So it's becoming more and more and more on a world stage of not only politics, but also business, but also, every impact that you can think of where these terminologies, these words, these thoughts are getting broadcast out there. The case is only getting stronger for meaningful and empowering regulation and financial incentive within what's happening here, essentially the liquidity capital of the world, the US. This was only minutes ago. It's what we need it now. I want it now. We want Amazon Prime now for our pump, right? Well, realize if we don't get the pump now, that means right now we have more opportunity to get better situated when the pump does happen. So why are we being so damn impatient? I hope you're all following us here on BitLab Academy so we can help keep you on the right side of the trend, on the right side of the mind share, right? In the gratitude in your heart. We got to ride this dragon however it's going to fly and make sure we're positioning ourselves so we can dominate this bull cycle in 2025. Now, coming back over to the charts, we got to get to the TA, man. And there's a setup for this TA that is just phenomenal. And I do want to shout out, we've got about 1,000 people tuned in right now. If you are new here, let us know. Type in the comments if you're new. We want to welcome you. My name's Kelly Kellum. We're here together building over the last few years, trying to make sure we can keep our mind right, navigating this market in the right way so the market doesn't navigate us emotionally out of trades, out of things within this market. Shout out to Jim Bean. Jim Bean, how bullish are you on HBAR this year? I'm pretty damn bullish on HBAR. I'm so bullish on it, I'm mad that I'm not holding it in that shared alt portfolio along with you all. And again, everybody, if we get the 10 super chats or a combination of super chats and memberships here on the YouTube, we will do a giveaway. And in order to participate in that, all you got to do on this tweet right here, if you're on YouTube, I'll post the link in the live chat. If you're on X, all you have to do is minimize and hit that retweet, hit this like button. We'll randomly draw from this tweet right here. I just posted in the live chat. I just want to remind, this is a community. So let's all get involved. Right here on the right-hand side, if you make this full screen, you can chat here. Let's make this an engaged community. Boom. Let's go. Still much going on. Freaking awesome. So much going on. Claire Bear, I see you. I also see y'all's chats. If you do chat here, I see your chats on my screen up here. So let's all get involved because we got to do this together, everybody. Now, coming back, Here's where it gets super bullish for the alt bags. We had Larry Fink this morning saying, Larry Fink, BlackRock CEO, just said live on CNBC that as a huge believer in blockchain, he wants the SEC, which this is under new leadership now, empowering leadership, not this bullshit, constrictive, let's make everything only benefit Citibank and JP Morgan Chase and Bank of America. And all those banks, by the way, they realize the need to integrate with blockchain. Okay. But now what's happening is he wants the SEC to rapidly approve the tokenization of bonds and stocks. And this was shared by ONDO Finance. I made a major move yesterday on my portfolio. I sold an entire bag of one of my top coins, and I split it into ONDO, split it into Lake. I split it a little bit into Render and a little bit into AERO. And I shared that in the BitLab Discord as well for all those people. Where can I get one of those hats? It's actually a Frankie Candles hat. So head over to the Frankie Candles Frankie Candles stream, and they sell them over there. Maybe I can get a couple to give away. But this is incredible. This is a seismic shift. This is incredible. And ONDO is positioned, probably ONDO and Chainlink are positioned better than damn near anybody to really capitalize on this RWA, real world asset tokenization. The tokenization, it's not just of real estate or NFTs. No, the tokenization of stocks, bonds, global markets. In fact, ONDO has a summit coming up in a matter of days now, where it's expected, and Larry Fink is very tied in with ONDO because of Securitize and BlackRock's BitL fund, all these sorts of things, ONDO being the largest component of that. Larry Fink's going to be at that ONDO summit, I think, as well as Sergey Nazarov from Chainlink. And it's expected there's going to be some pretty major announcements, which is why I'm positioning myself very, very heavily in ONDO to take advantage of that narrative, and also just the focus from corporate money that is going to be coming into that. Then we see what's going on with Bitcoin. Let's talk about the price action, and then we're going to get into the alts because we got some signals shaping up here. Bitcoin's current 60-day price range is very narrow. That is like the Bollinger Bands. When your Bollinger Bands are showing the volatility over time, and it measures back on any price chart you're looking at. Say you're on the daily, every candle is 1 day. If you're on the hourly, every candle is 1 hour. So that's how you can understand when you're looking at candles. If you look at 20 candles on the 1 hour chart, you're looking back 20 hours. If you're looking at 20 candles on a daily chart, you're looking back 20 days. Bollinger Bands measure the price movement, the volatility, how much it's moving or not moving, and looks at over the last 20-day period and gives basically 2 standard deviations above and below, with basically 95% probability of where price action will be. When you see those Bollinger Bands constrict, that's telling you that over the last 20 period, the 20 period or 20 days, if you're on the daily chart, so on and so forth, that the volatility is diminishing. When you get a compression of volatility, a big move tends to come out of that. So this is looking at it in another light. Rather than looking at Bollinger Bands, this is measuring the same thing without showing those bands. The 60-day price range is very narrow. Historically, periods of tight price ranges often precede heightened volatility, AKA a big move is coming. This does not indicate up or down. In fact, I think we'll probably get a bit of both. We've been getting so many of these washouts down, then back up, or up, trap people, back down, and then you get the resolution. But this is what we're seeing. We're seeing this just flashed right here. You got the yellow line. You can barely see it, but there is a yellow line, and that is when this volatility right here, the Bollinger Band width percentile, really constricts. And each time this happened, look, boom, look at this, constricted, 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 down. So it's not up or down. It also has to do with the dominant trend that you're in terms of the likelihood of the direction that price is going to follow through. In fact, back here, back in 2015 into 2017, same thing. Constricted, boom, constricted, boom, constricted, boom. So out of all of these, only one of these gave a down signal. To do it with that what you will. But I'm bullish, baby. And then we see right here, when Bitcoin market cap is undervalued. What is this saying? A value below 1.6, blah, blah, blah. We don't know, get into the super details. When this drops super low, you're also seeing the price action, like right here, dip below. This is right at the FTX sell-off. And then we got the move up. Same thing here, dip up right here. This is a sell-off during right here. This is the sell-off during the speculative pump on ETFs. The dip right here, and this is where we got the launch, right when the signal flashed. Look again, boom. It happened each time this dip, boom, boom, boom. And we just got one again. We're getting signals across the board that we need to stop being so damn impatient when there's a little chop and people lose their damn minds. The top is in. How the heck could the top be in when we have an exponential in the billions and trillions of dollars that have access now and the awareness in a positive framing of this market? Ask yourself, is the top in when you have the biggest asset managers on earth selling products that only just started selling products in this asset? Now we have what's likely going to be an international arms race on Bitcoin that is kicking off essentially now as these rules, previous bills, and just the suppression of the market is all getting reversed. And now a whole new age of empowerment and acceptance of this asset class and the need for this asset class is getting presented to the world, not only by the financial and monetary mismanagement of governments, but also by the fact that Bitcoin is the best asset in human history. Well, I don't know how you could think the top is in, but if you do, I'll buy your assets from me. Let's get through these. We're getting right into it. Then we get other positive news in the altcoin market. CME Group, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, plans to launch XRP and SOL futures contracts on February 10th, pending regulatory review. Now, this last year, I would have said, I would have been so resistant to it, but the whole new sheriff's in town. Are we going to start seeing, this is giving more access to those pro traders out there and setting up the framework for the spot ETFs as well. Solana and XRP. Incredible. Let's light the altcoin market on fire and rock this, because this is what we're seeing for the altcoins. The altcoin market has seen a 10-month, not 1 month, not 3, not 7. The altcoin market has seen a 10-month expansion period after both previous signals. Just an observation. Well, one is, and it's not even shown on this chart, is we just had the inauguration, which is always, since Bitcoin's been around, especially since altcoins have been around, the inauguration has been the mark of when the parabolic run really starts. And then you look at other data signals like this, and you get when the RSI eclipses this 80 mark, boom. Is it, oh my God, it's overheated. It's over, right? It's over. It's in the overbought zone. That's what people that don't understand RSI say. RSI does not show you oversold and overbought. RSI means relative strength index. So when there's a lot of strength, meaning the buy pressures versus the sell pressures, you get this going very high. And yes, just like anything, like we were talking about with volatility, everything is cyclical in this market. When things get very volatile, then they compress down to lack of volatility. When there's very tight price ranges, then you get a very big move. When you get very strong move in the market, a lot of strength, at some point it's going to reverse and come back down to very weak. A lot of people will coordinate this, and I would agree with it on the 1 hour time frame, on the 5 minute time frame. Sure, you could say overbought and oversold. But when we're looking at the macro, this is a 2-month chart. Every candle is 2 months. It's overbought, but look, that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. That is a huge amount of time. If this is overbought, if you were to sell here, you would have missed out on all that. When it overbought, sell. On the macro, look at this as strength. Similarly, look at this. Over the 80 mark, very strong. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Great. And then what do we see here? Boom, we just clipped into this. We're on the first candle. Look at what happened after this. We're entering the strength zone. But the strength zone does not mean we are eliminated from the emotional chop zone on the smaller time frames. The macro in this market and understanding where we are at in cycles will always dominate the majority of a trend when you zoom out. So stop getting so locked into these 15-minute charts and thinking that you've identified a top. No, you did not. You're being a jackass to your portfolio, and you're going to lose capital if you do that. I'm here to help usher you towards the promised land, man. And I'll make bad calls, but I promise you, I always try. I make it my mission to be as non-biased as possible and look at the data, because then we come over here and we see, look at this. This is cutting out all the noise from the top 10. We've talked about this in a number of different charts in a number of different ways. We're getting this right here, which is the same thing that we saw in the last breakout before, boom, massive alt season. And if we zoom out on this, you can see the same thing happened back here in 2016. We are on course. We are on path. Let's just make sure we stay on it so that we can ride this to Valhalla. Now, when we look at the last signal, now we're going to look at TA. We're going to look at some TA here. What we're seeing here, we got about 1,100 people in the room. Shout out to each and every one of you. Make sure you're hitting that like button, subscribing. Make sure, I'm asking, guys, engage with the number one thing you can do to help support this type of content is just engage with it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I can't believe so many of you guys watch on a daily basis and you don't just take a moment, hit that subscribe button. Join us, turn on your notifications. We're going to be sharing more and more content out that it's only going to sometimes be up 5 minutes on the public page. But if you turn this on, you will get access to it. And of course, join us here. Once you subscribe, it should say join. Join us here as a member. Big love to each and every one of you that is involved. Now let's look at this. This is the dollar, strength of the dollar. Okay. This is the Bitcoin price. This is when, Bitcoin has been rallying as the strength of the dollar has gone up. That is unheard of. That's how bullish this market is. Now, as this made this last little push up, price getting a little weak around this level because it's so hyped about going higher. However, at the same time, we're also seeing, let me zoom in on this. Oops. We're also seeing that the dollar, strength of the dollar kind of rejected here and is coming down, right? If this continues to break down, that exponentially gives power to Bitcoin bullishness moving up. Okay. So let's pay attention to that and realize that we are in for an incredible year with some frustration along the way. I love how anytime I ask people to get engaged, we lose like 60 people watching. And you know what? Get the fuck out of here if you don't want to be engaged. This is a community thing. So let's do this together. And if you don't like somebody taking a moment who spends 137 hours a week bringing content to you, then I don't want you here anyway, because you're not a good person. So, and I mean that wholeheartedly. We all can do better at participating in the communities that we are in. Now, when we zoom over here, shout out Green Day Profits. Welcome to you weren't a BitLab member? I'm glad that you joined in, my brother. Now, looking here, we got some liquidity. Let me reload this. Reload the page. Oh man, I might be logged out. That's okay. We can come over here to Coin Glass. I don't want to log in live on air. Liquidation levels, liquidation heat map. Boom. Julio, I did hit the like, brother. Been watching you for years since Kelly was on. Hey, since Jeb, you're talking old school there. Big shout out to you guys. Yeah, it's been quite a few years in this space. And I've been in the space since 2015, 2016. I only just stepped into the media side, cameras and, posting and all that about 2020. But we still have some liquidity below us. And if we do have some of the Japanese yen, if the interest rates get hiked there, we have some issues with that. That wouldn't be super bullish. We probably would have a little bit of a sell-off on that news. But everything in downside price action right now is opportunity. Everything in downside price. So I see this and I'm like, yeah, fucking scoop this up. If we don't get any downside price action because there's so much underlying bullishness and people aren't willing to sell, great. That is great. But let's not be frustrated if we do get some sort of washout whip like that. Green Day Profits, 5 gifted memberships. Shout out to you, Falco. Nothing but love, brother. $5 super chat. Big love to everybody. Looks like we'll be doing a giveaway today. So shout out. Before we got some minutes left, make sure you come over here and hit this retweet, hit this like button. We will be doing a giveaway today because we hit that threshold with people getting involved. And this, we draw it from this. I come here, I go like this. I'll show you what I do. I come here, I go view engagement, and we're going to pick two numbers. We'll pick those numbers now. I need two numbers. I need a number between 5 and 10, and I need a number between 20 and 30. The first two of those numbers that I see, I need one of each. That's how we're going to determine who gets the deal. So Bitcoin chopping right inside here, just Trump pump. Currently looking like a little bit of a bull trap on this very small time frame, 4 hours. I wouldn't be surprised if we came back down here into this green box down 100, even like kind of wick down here. We have this trend line that's coming down like this, coming down in the zone. I think this would really upset a lot of people that aren't paying attention. For those that are, blah 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 blah. My train left the station there. If the price actually came down here, this would commit a lot of people short. I think that would be a beautiful bounce zone if it comes down there. If this just chops in here, fine. It's just doing its work. Everybody's so hyped about the specific SBR and what that means. Let's look at what happens at 3:30 today. Shout out to Alexander G, $5 super chat. Big love to you. Oh, I got to zoom back and see what those first two numbers were. Let's see. So we got, so we got 10 and 25 were the two numbers. Let me write that down. 10 and 25. All right. Boom, boom, boom. So everything's waiting on a moment's notice right now. I say set in some stop limit orders on your exchanges and take advantage of if we do get dips to do that. I wouldn't do that with leverage because there's still a lot of sort of choppiness about the clarity of some of these things moving forward. But Ethereum also still provide an opportunity. Some people are so bored with this, and I think that's presenting the perfect opportunity with it coming down in these levels below a trend line that was, from 2017, below this trend line, this one right here, that was from 2019. And I think this is getting into that zone that is, I think when this does start to move, we're getting Max Fug with some of the stories about the Ethereum Foundation and all that kind of stuff. I think this is presenting good opportunity. But then remember, XRP and Solana, the positive news about those ETFs, and this has the bull flag, retest, a breakout. It's kind of chopping in the zone. Everybody's waiting on what some of these new policies and stances are, and the promises Trump made about all these integrations. But remember, Trump is stacking into World Liberty Finance. He's buying. He just launched 2 meme coins. His actions say the support. That's more than the promise he made about these regulations. And I do think they're coming I don't say certainty, very, very strong probability, over 90%, I would say. Then you see Solana also had this beautiful, beautiful move up. This is on the 3-day sideways action. Oh my God, it's never going to happen. And then boom, breaks out, comes back down, retest, and then descending sort of trend line here, breaks out of that. Kind of holding hostage here for a second, but we may not get many more opportunities with these various coins at these prices. I also remember ONDO got a little bit of a pump today. We stacked in yesterday. We're on the 3-day. Let's go on the 4-hour. Got a little bit of a pump on those comments from Larry Fink, but no follow through yet. But you do see, what do you see here on the 4-hour? Notice this, the money flow on the BitLab trading stack. Look at this massive. Okay, more money coming out. Now look at this. It's starting to round out potentially to get that move where you start getting this flood of capital coming in. The last time this happened, that flood of capital coming in right here, that's that blue wave. Look, price action to the upside. We're getting that negative sentiment starting to round out. We're getting bullish divergences on the momentum waves. We're getting bullish divergences. Look at this, from this point right here to this point, much lower. RSI is much higher. This is what I'm talking about. The low of the purple line, the low of the purple line. This is higher low. This is a lower low. Strength was coming in. We were talking about this here, about the potential reversal. It's still in order because we have not broken beyond this zone here. I think ONDO is going to do so well. Also, Aerodrome. Sitting down there, we were talking about this over here, this potential move down into the zone. It actually overshot it, came back up. We talked about a rejection here, potentially coming back to that $1 mark. Look at it. It's at the $1 mark. We have been nailing these calls, everybody. Now, DAG, looking strong. Smaller market cap coin, about $200 million. Made in America. Is it going to get rallied into that sort of American buying pressure? just by getting listed in that category on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, it put it in front of a lot of people's eyes that may have never heard of it. And they have years established of already being utilized by the U.S. Treasury, utilized by the Department of Defense, by being utilized by the U.S. Air Force. I think this is going to do some major things. They're also doing a lot of data security encryption back and forth that may be implemented across AI projects. Talk about massive. Then you got things like AIXBT that is setting up. I mean, this is still early. With how fast their socials are growing with that socials agent that they're utilizing. Remember, they have stuff beyond the agent with a lot of AI, basically data layers that people can look into when they hold AIXBT. And it's like $300,000 worth of AIXBT that you'd have to hold to access that. So I think there's a lot coming here. And this is, just beautiful. Got dog on Bitcoin. Still beautiful cup and handle with the falling wedge. Yes, it did break out a little bit bearish on that, but this is to be expected when you have a smaller market cap coin, right? And in fact, we're seeing a lot of wallet activity. Not me. I've seen a number of people breaking down a lot of wallet activity between different exchanges. We saw a post yesterday, and I did not verify it, but I saw a post that there's now information about dog on Coinbase. It's not listed there yet, but this is not listed on any major exchange. And this is looking so similar to what Pepe looked like back before Pepe broke out. When it initially launched, it had a move just like this, sell off, had this rise, sell off into a pump, broke down into a spring, and then it had like a 10x move over, beyond 10x move over the course of a matter of days out of nowhere. And this chart looks so similar to what we saw in that. In fact, if we pull up Pepe, we can see Pepe USD. Let's see. Let's go back right here. This is that. Let's go to the 12-hour. Boom. This is that move. Look, the big move down, pump up. Oh, sell off, pump up, the channel to the downside before liftoff. And from this point, let's do it from this point here, because this is a break a little bit from this move here. That is a 10x on the first wave. Over, how many days is that? Over 21 days, 10x. Oh my God, it's dead. Broke down 60% over the matter of about 16 days. And then it just continued from this point, continued higher into price discovery, another 5x from this sell-off. And then you come back over to dog and you realize, oh my God, you've got it. Oh my dog, I should say. You've got the same sort of thing, that the price action, the impulse, the sell-off, the big move, the next big move, and then the channel to the downside. We could even adjust this to make it, because since it's still a falling wedge there. And this could go even a little bit more. But the point is, 100,000 plus holders, Bitcoin type people that are looking, I'm so bullish on this. So what we're looking at in this market and what's to come, and the amount of things on the maybe side of this market is so positive. But look at all the things over the last year that have been just proven absolute bullishness, the bullish case for what's to come, and the acceptance and the integrations of what's happening with Bitcoin, crypto, real world asset tokenization, gaming, AI agents. God, we are so bullish on everything that's happening in this market. So we got about over 1,210 people in the room. We got a lot of engagement today. We hit those thresholds. Let's do a giveaway. Let's go ahead. We had the numbers were 10 and 25. This time, what are we going to do? Let's see how many people we got that participated. We got 33. So we're going to do the early people. So I'm going to do 25 minus 10. We always do these numbers different. So it's random, right? So view engagement. So let's go here. Oops. So that'd be 15. So let's go 1, 2. Talos. That is an AI agent. That is dope. Talos is an AI agent. Retweeted the post. That is pretty crazy. So 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Tad rocks. Are you here, Tad? I am following you. I'll get you sorted. I'm going to DM me. I am following you as well. DM me. I will get you sorted. We're going to be sending you over $100 value Arculus the best crypto cold storage solution out there. Also a channel partner. You see those banners that are up there. We're going to take care of you, send this out to you, an Arculus. And again, I do think it's the best crypto cold storage solution out there. One tap, total security, uses a PIN, uses your phone, uses a card, uses your biometrics. And it doesn't matter if you lose your phone or your card, you're not going to lose your biometrics, right? If you lose your card, you just get a new card and then load it all onto a new card with your seed phrase. But doesn't matter if somebody takes your card or your phone, they need all those different things, including your PIN, biometrics, card, and phone to access your crypto cold storage right there. Protect your crypto, protect your future. And so shout out to Arculus for making these giveaways possible. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope you all have a wonderful day. We're going to head over to the blockchain basement now, drop in some love there, let them know BitLab is here. Let's all head over there and say BitLab is here. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Tad rocks. Did I get you comments in here? And I don't know, but I love you guys. I appreciate you. Adios. Thank you for the super chats, for the engagement, for making sure you're following. Let's do this together. Adios, muchachos.